Radio check.
I hear ya.
All right. Let's see. So taxi, lean for taxi. Radio's avionics set is required. Finder 1200. Okay, so let's review the weather.
Yep.
Sodus Airport.
Lean for taxi.
New York.
Oh,
Automated weather observation 2146 Zulu. Weather wind 250 at 3. Visibility 10. Rain 4,700. Scattered. Ceiling 7,000. Broken 8,000. Overcast. Temperature 12 Celsius. Dew point 7. Altimeter 2990.
Low pressure today, huh? Well, lower than standard anyway.
Sodus, New York. Automated weather observation 2147 Zulu. Weather wind 240 at 3. Visibility 10. Light drizzle 4,700. Scattered. Ceiling 7,000. Broken 8,000. Overcast. Temperature 12 Celsius. Dew point 7. Altimeter 2990.
Okay, so we got our altimeter set, and then compass. Okay, right about there. And we're ready to taxi.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna be going to 28.
Yep, I would say so.
Williamson Soda traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey, taxiing to runway 28, run-up area, Williamson Soda traffic. Oh, we didn't do our brake check.
We will.
Do it now.
Yep, so you're going to go left, right, and then the brakes. All right.
Go.
Now we're ready to roll.
Okay, looking clear left and clear right. Do I have to stop before the intersection or no?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, you can keep rolling.
Going left.
Yep.
Do I go left and then turn? Or
Yeah, go straight and then take a left and bring her up the outside here.
Oh, so go straight and then kind of come around?
Yep.
Okay.
I like to do that because in case you get hung, if it's on a busy day, you'll have airplanes. That way, if you did it right, you could almost put 3 planes in here doing their run up.
So like facing...
Yep, go over to the edge and then kind of parallel yourself with that, the apron, how it goes at an angle there.
Okay.
Good practice. Yeah, right here, bring her around, then straighten the wheel and put the brake on. That way, say it was a busy day, someone can just taxi back, they can pull in right behind you.
Okay.
And you're not blowing on them.
And that's because the wind's coming from there? Is that where we're facing this? Or?
Well, generally the wind will be coming in this general direction, but this just gives another airplane room to get by you and then pull up alongside of you and do their run up.
Right.
And then whoever gets done first, say he gets done with his run up first, he doesn't have to wait for you to get out of the way.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. We just completed taxi, so ground run up brakes are on.
Yep.
Flight instrument check. That a little bit right there. Was 24. 4 and 21.
Yeah, that looks right.
That looks
well, from this angle, you might be maybe 5 off.
There. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. So in the green, the oil temp is still kind of cold.
Yeah.
Okay, circuit breakers are still in. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Radios and avionics set as required. So we got all that taken care of. Fuel selector switch fullest tank. It's on the right now. It looks like our left is showing.
Yeah, well, we usually just switch it in. You can switch it over because now we know the fuel runs on that side. We'll switch over to the other side just to know that both sides are feeding properly.
Okay. Mixture is rich. Throttle 2000 RPM. Right about there.
Yep.
Magneto check, so we're gonna go 2 clicks left and watch for the drop. 1, 2.
Yep.
There's a drop, coming back right. 1, 2.
And we don't want more than 175 drop.
Yep, which it wasn't.
Yep.
And going left once. Also got a drop. And back to both. Right?
Yep.
Needles are good. Carb heat tests. Carbs on. RPM drop. Engine instrument check. Everything's still in the green. Suction is 5 inches.
Okay.
Alternator check. We're gonna turn it up and watch for load. So that's working. Throttle low idle check. Okay, and that is running, and then with carb heat on. Still running. Turn to okay, ground run up complete. And before takeoff, passenger briefing. So we're gonna take off runway 28.
If that's the yeah. Passengers basically stay away from my controls, the extinguishers back there, talking, and then door operation.
Gotcha. Okay. So you know all that.
The next one is us. Yeah, I know how to do the door.
Okay, so the emergency brief. Okay.
Emergency brief. We should be off the runway way before 1,000 feet today. Runway remaining, obviously you're going to use the runway.
Yep.
Otherwise, between 10 and 2 if we're below 1,000 feet. The wind was 300 earlier, but now it's more like 240. So if I had to turn back, I would go to the left so that the wind will help blow me back over to get me back to the runway quicker.
Okay.
That's if we make it to 1,000. Okay.
Okay, controls are left aileron up,
Right
tail
one's
is
down.
up.
I see the tail moving.
Right aileron up.
And right is up, and stabilizer is up, pitching. That's pitching up and pitching down. Yep.
All right, free and correct. Flaps set, they are up. Trim tab looks about right.
Pretty good.
Here is rich.
Okay.
Carb heat is off. Window vent is closed, doors closed and latched.
Hey, it is.
Okay, so we're gonna rotate at 60, climb out at 85.
Right. And since the wind is coming out of the south a little bit, we're going to make sure we have ailerons into the wind as we're starting our takeoff roll. And obviously you'll feel the wings start to lift over here, so you'll start taking a little bit of that crosswind correction, you know, as it gets more effective.
Okay. And then fuel pump is on.
Oh.
Okay, landing light.
Oh.
Got landing light on, and you want nav lights as well?
Yes, we should have those on because the sunset is at like 6:40, something like that.
6:36.
Is it 6:36?
Crazy. Nope.
My watch says one thing, and then this ForeFlight says another. Let's see what this says. 6:36. Yep. And then I go over here. Whoops. It's 6:38. We'll go with the 36. Okay.
Okay, transponder is on alt and time off. Board.
Okay. All right. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take off. We're going to remain in the pattern, but you're going to keep climbing up to 3,000 feet.
Okay.
Still flying the pattern formation. We're going to do nice rectangular racetrack all the way up. And once we get to 3,000, that's when we'll do our first emergency procedures. And we'll use our runway, of course, as our landing target.
Okay.
Okay? We'll do that a few times, and then I might throw in some slow flight in there once and do a couple of those things just to check those boxes off.
All right.
Plus, it's been a while, so. Okay.
Okay. Good to go. Runway looks clear from the left.
All right. We're the only crazies out here tonight.
All the crazies. Are we going that way and then looping around?
Yep, so you're going to stay in the pattern. So you're going to take off, left crosswind, left downwind, base final. But we're going to keep flying that rectangular all the way up to 3,000 feet.
Okay.
So you're going to, instead of leveling off, we're going to keep flying.
I got
We're going to keep climbing, I should say.
So when we take, at 500 feet, AGL, we go crosswind?
Yep, 700. 700 feet, yep, when we hit to 1,100 feet on the altimeter, which gives us about 700 feet.
Okay.
Then you're going to turn crosswind,
Okay.
and then downwind base final.
Okay. And then
upwind.
On the runway, we're back taxiing to the beginning, or we're going off of that?
When we land, we'll probably land and come back here. But we're going to keep climbing. When you get back to the runway, you're just going to fly the runway. Maybe offset it a little so you can look down and see the runway to make sure you're tracking properly.
Okay.
The goal for this is a couple things: emergency procedures and flying with wing correction. So we know the wind is going to be pushing us a little bit to the north. So you're going to be on the downwind. We're going to be really moving because we're going to have a tailwind, but it's also going to be pushing you. So you're going to crab a little bit, maybe 10, 15 degrees to hold that nice equal distance.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to taxi to the beginning?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yeah. Go to hold. Everything's normal for here.
Yep.
You know, in the beginning here.
All right.
For crazy looking clouds.
Yep.
There's wind up there.
And do I have to stop here before the?
Yep. So now we announce. Williams, so is traffic. Yep. Cherokee 55 Whiskey's departing one-way 28. Remaining in the pattern.
Williamson Soda's traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey, departing runway 28, and we'll stay in the pattern. Williamson Soda's traffic.
There you go. And if somebody comes in, I'll just give them a heads up that we're above the pattern.
Okay.
So that we're not a factor for them. That's crazy looking.
That's, yeah.
All right.
So,
I guess I should have wiped the window down.
okay, everything's looking good.
All right.
And we're also left aileron.
Left aileron into the wind, right? Correct, I should say. Bad choice of words.
Okay, airspeed is alive. Gauges are green, rotating.
Beautiful. Nice launch.
Fishing for 85. Okay, we're at 1100, right, you said?
Yep, 1100 will turn to left crosswind.
All right. All right, coming up on 11, so turning left, clear left. Do I announce that we're in the crosswind, or are we just...
Yep, go ahead and let's do that for practice, yep.
Williamson Soto traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey, turning left, crosswind, runway 28, Williamson Soto traffic. Okay, then do we go to 100?
Yep,
For
go to
climb.
100 and go ahead and turn, oh, okay, yep, you're fine. Turn your downwind when you think it's time, and we're gonna keep right on climbing. Go ahead and turn.
Williamson Soto traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey, turning left, downwind, runway 28, Williamson.
So we haven't flown the pattern too much. What I use is the edge of this swamp here. I use the south side of the swamp and the north side of the pond in front of us as our line, generally. When we're at pattern altitude, that gets us the right spacing. Of course, the higher we go, it's going to seem like the airport's right under us.
Right.
But we're going to try to fly that same grid. You know, and you can go a little wide of the runway just so you can see it, so you have a reference.
Right, okay. All right, do we do our after takeoff checklist?
Yeah, sure. That's a good idea. Yep.
Okay, after takeoff, okay, climb at 100, flaps are up, fuel pump is up.
Then verify pressure. Pressure's still good.
Pressure. Landing light instrument, make sure we're all going to leave that on.
Okay, that's fine.
After takeoff checklist complete.
Complete, good. Alright, where's our... We gotta be close. Yeah, there's our field under us, so go ahead and turn your base leg.
Williamson traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey, turning left base, runway 28, Williamson. Man, that is cool.
It's so cool. It never gets old.
I gotta take a picture of this one.
Alright. I'll let you do that.
If you don't mind, yeah. You got the airplane?
I have the controls.
Come on, Face ID. And that is beautiful. Alright, very good.
I probably didn't go wide enough. So go ahead, there's 3,000. I'll give you a heads up so you can get the nose down. So I guess we could go to that cruise. Yeah, that's all right. But we got the 3,000 before we even got to.
It was quick, yeah. It was climbing. Alright, so about 2,500 RPM.
Okay.
We're trimmed for 3,000.
Alright, so let's do our first engine out then.
Okay.
So we're going to pull the power all the way back. We just lost the engine. We're going to trim. So pick, or trim and pick. So get the nose up, trim up. You want 83? Because the sooner we get it to glide, we're using that, we're holding on to as much altitude as we can.
Okay.
So now we're going to pick a field. If you're over the end of the runway, I suggest probably turning toward the runway now. So let's do a full 360-degree turn, so 30 degrees of bank, holding on to 83 miles an hour. Oh, we're actually, okay. We aren't even to the runway yet.
Oh, we didn't.
I can see it. All right, so keep a 30-degree bank in there.
All right.
And we do have a wind coming from that way, right? So we definitely want to get 30 degrees in there, get it right over to 30. There you go. Yep, okay. Keep it coordinated, keep that nose up, don't let it speed up. That's good, the airspeed's good. All right, now we got that part figured out. Let's see if we can get this thing running again. So do your steps. So switch tanks, go ahead and flip it. Primer's locked.
Primer is locked. Check.
Fuel pump on.
Fuel pump is, do I turn it on?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, fuel pump's on.
You got time for another turn.
And mixture is rich.
Okay, and then we're coming back around. Carb heat on.
Carb heat on.
Keep that bank in there. So we got time to do one more of these turns.
Carb heat's on. Keep it on?
No, you can turn it off.
All right.
Should have. If you keep that bank in there, we should have enough time to get back around. Keep that speed under, keep it disciplined on the airspeed. Keep that bank in there. I might have screwed us up. We'll see. We'll see how this works. I probably should have keep that bank in there. Keep this thing coming around. Because we are 1,000 feet right now. And let's head straight for that runway. We're too far away.
Yeah, we're definitely not making it.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that second turn. All right, so let's go back to a climb. So your instructor screwed that one up.
Okay.
All right, so go to 100-mile-an-hour climb. Wait, so it's traffic Cherokee 55 Whiskies on the upwind for, or final to upwind for runway 28. We're going to remain in the pattern, climbing up to 3,000 feet. Plainclothes traffic. All right, we'll do better. I will do better on the next one. When I started doing that turn, I'm like, shoot, that wind's coming out of the west. It's going to blow us that way. So, two things we did wrong, or I did wrong. I thought we were like midfield downwind. We weren't. I didn't see the runway until we turned. I'm like, oh shoot, we're not even to the airport yet. We still could have done the one turn, but then we should have done like maybe an S turn or put all the flaps in and did a forward slip.
Okay.
We would have gotten down. That's what we'll do next time. That's why we practice these. I've not done this exact scenario before, so this is educational for both of us.
All right, we're about midfield right now.
Okay. Go ahead, just so we can go through the procedures again. We'll turn the fuel pump off. There you go.
Okay.
And then Town Line Road is generally where our base leg is. So once you get to that road that's in front of us there,
yep,
that'll be our base.
Okay. Right about there?
Pretty close. We're not quite there yet. Yeah, go ahead. By the time you turn.
Williamson Soda traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey turning left crosswind for runway 3. Williamson Soda traffic.
Oh, I can feel that wind blow. You can see it.
Yep.
All right, so go ahead and start turning again. See where that pond is? Go right over that pond. We'll draw a line right over it.
Williams Minnesota traffic, Viper 9855 Whiskey turning left, downwind runway 28, Williamson. Alright, 3000.
Okay, you lost the engine. Now let's do that again. So trim for 83, so get that nose up. We're giving up valuable altitude right now. There you go.
Okay.
TP fast. So you decide when you want to start turning, because we don't want to blow past our airport either, right? We want to stay kind of right over it.
Gonna do fuel pump.
Yep. Fuel pump on the left tank, fuel pump, tank, yep, good.
Primer checked is good. Magnetos are both on. Mixture is rich.
Yep.
Throttle, if anything, carb heat.
There you go. Good.
Good. All right. And then we are gliding.
Yep. So we are so we're at 25. We're about 2,000 feet yet.
Okay.
You can look at us blowing, right?
Yep.
So maybe if we had gone into that turn, we're still a little high. So what you're going to want to do now is maybe go a little past final, and then we're going to do what we call an S turn.
Okay.
So maybe head over toward the trees over there. I would have probably done one turn just to lose, 1,500 feet or so.
Okay.
But yeah, it depends on when you turn too. It's always going to be different.
So go this way?
Yeah, go this way a little more for... Once we're about 1,000 feet, see the runway, where the runway is? Okay,
yep.
Now let's turn back toward the runway, 30-degree bank. The wind will help blow us back. Keep going, 30 degrees, get that bank in there. Because we don't want to go forward as much as possible right now. We want to lose some altitude yet. So we're going to aim, and then we'll kind of go this way to maybe a little past even. So we're 1,000 feet right now, short final. So we definitely got some altitude to lose. So go ahead, let's turn back toward the runway. Let's get this thing dirty. So put the flaps all the way down.
All the way 3 notch?
Yeah, at least one.
Yeah.
And see how you figure. Aim about 1/3 of the way, so past where we normally land. That sun is beautiful, isn't it?
I can't see nothing.
All right, let's put the rest of the flaps in now. And let's keep that speed between 80 and 85. And let's do a forward slip. So go full left rudder and just lower the swing down. Full left rudder and banker down. See the airspeed staying put?
Yep.
But we're dropping like a rock, aren't we?
Yep.
So kind of adjust accordingly.
I can't see nothing.
So you're on center line. You're doing good for not seeing anything. All right, let's do a go around. Go around. So full power, 1 notch of flap, just do 1 click. There you go. And we'll climb back out at 85. You're beautiful. That's good. We're clear of the obstacle, so you can clean the flaps up and accelerate to 85. Good. That was good.
I don't know about
that. Fun? And visibility sucked enough where it would have been safe to try to touch down anyway. But this, I like doing these. You'll like them after a while. They're exciting. They're not boring.
No, they're definitely not boring.
So crab a little bit into the wind. I think we're blowing a little to the left.
Well, we're out of, yeah.
Be nice if a cloud would roll in front of that sun again for us.
Yep.
Or the rain stop. If the rain would stop, that would help a little. That was good. So those are S turns. So we got the throw in, forward slip, S turns.
Yep.
We had a stiff enough wind where we could do a couple turns, and that kept us from getting too close to the airport.
Okay.
And we would have definitely touched down. you know, within the allotted space. There's your 1,000 feet. Alright, are we, go ahead and, can we turn, where are we anyway? Let's see. We at our normal spot? Yeah, you can go ahead and turn your crosswind.
Williams to Soda traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey, turning left crosswind, runway 28, Williams to Soda.
South traffic, helicopter 651, Mike Charlie, right now, we'll be working right close traffic for the next 30 minutes.
Williams Source traffic, we will keep an eye out for you. We're climbing the 3000 and doing simulated engine failures, but we're going to keep an eye out for you. Williams Soda. He said Williams and Sodas, right?
Yeah, I think he did.
Alright, go ahead and turn your downwind. I don't see him though. He's doing a right base. So he's going to stay on the other side of the airport.
Oh, he's right. No, that's a truck.
Juliet, Mike, about 5 miles to the southeast. Come in for landing on runway 1. Finger Lakes traffic.
Oh, Finger Lakes traffic. I could have swore he said...
I thought he said Williamson. Is that a helicopter that just called? Or was that another guy?
I thought that was the same guy, but... I don't see anybody flying around us. Look at the rainbow. It's all the way around us.
Amazing.
It's a circle. That's crazy.
Alright.
Alright, go ahead and turn your base.
Nickel traffic, red float Super Cub, 7.5 to the northwest.
That sun is just...
Any traffic in the area, Nickel traffic.
Yeah, that's
brutal.
we probably... No, there's enough of a tailwind though. We'd be... Nobody on downwind. Or on final.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it one more time. You just lost the engine. Let's try one turn. We are out of ways, but I think... You know what? This would probably be a better scenario for an S-turn. So let's do that S-turn.
Okay, so doing my thing, fuel, so the next fuel tank primer is in, fuel pump on, mixture in,
Carb heat.
and my carb heat on, and okay.
And the ignition, just to
Ignition,
double check that that's on. Alright, so keep the speed down. We definitely got the field made from here.
Finger Lakes traffic, Piper Warrior 555.
I can feel the wind blowing us though.
Entering a downwind for runway 1. Full stop landing, Finger Lakes traffic.
I think this is a good scenario right here. Go ahead and do another.
29 Mike Victor.
We'll just keep S turning.
We're about 4 miles to the northwest. We'll be entering a downwind base for 13 Canada.
And then you just kind of keep noting altitude. So we're approaching 1,500 feet AGL.
Yep.
Williams Source traffic, Cherokee 55 Whiskey, unmodified, final approach for runway 28. Williams Source traffic, just passing to 1900. And then once you think, and we haven't used flaps yet, I like to get, so I know I made it. And you probably, we're close to 1,000 feet, so
Base runway 1.
I would head to the airport and feel the wind blowing us. Head right for that center line. Get you right on center line there.
13 Canada.
All right, so let's get her dirty. Let's do that forward slip again.
So full flaps?
Yep, I think you got it made even with, let's see what it looks like with full flaps. Go ahead, full flaps.
Full stop landing. Finger Lakes traffic.
Yep. Yeah, how that third notch lets you really get her steep. So now let's get that forward slip. So let's push the right rudder this time. We'll put that wing into the wind.
Okay.
Canada traffic, red super cloud, 2 mile.
Push her right to the floor.
3 Canada.
All the way to the floor. Now roll her down. So the ailerons will bring us over to center line. And then once you're good, all right, you can probably straighten her out now. All right, round out. We're a little high, so let her come down. There you go. Now bring that nose up just gently. Hold her, hold her. Beautiful, man. Awesome. That was good.
We're doing a full stop?
Yeah, we'll do a full stop and taxi back. We'll do another takeoff. How was that?
It was not bad.
That's gratifying.
Not bad, but yeah, definitely.
For poor visibility, I mean, I could see okay.
That rain definitely sucks.
Yeah, it does. And it won't be long in that sun. Then next time we come down, that sun's going to be behind that cloud. If it wasn't sunny, this wouldn't even bother us.
Yep.
Darn sun. Overrated. See, this is what ground people see. They see a rainbow goes from one side to the other. When you're in the air, it's a full circle.
Williamson Sotos traffic, Piper 985 Whiskey is clear of 28. Williamson Sotos.
Okay.
Over there. All right.
Yeah. So after landing
checklist.
Yep.
The flaps are up. Make sure clean for taxi. Fuel pump off. Landing light off. We're gonna keep it on, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Williamson Sotos traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey, taxiing to runway 28. We'll stay in a pattern. Williamson Sotos traffic.
You're my earliest student that I've done a full engine, loss of engine landing this early. Like touchdown. But you know you can do it, right? Now you know you can do it. You know what you got to do. So that's a judgment call. If I was in the, say, the downwind, or sometimes my scenario will be we'll overfly the airport at 3,000.
Yep.
And as soon as we cross the midpoint, I'll pull the engine. At that point, you have time to do a full 360 and to decide which downwind you're going to dump into. If we're overflying, generally we're coming over to 1-0 anyway. So then I do a circle on the downwind leg, and I try to inch toward the base to final end while I'm doing that turn. So you vary the bank a little bit. You still don't want to take all day to get there, but when you have wind, like we have today though, you're doing kind of a turnaround to point. So you're going to be a little steeper so it doesn't blow you all the way over there, but you got to shallow it out so you don't keep getting too far away from the airport.
Right.
So, but that S-turn was beautiful. Approach was nice. As soon as we knew we had the field made, now you put those flaps on. That was good. Next time I probably will see what you do without me putting input into it. Let you judge and make the decisions. I do want to get slow flight in too. Look at my little checklist of notes I have here that I wanted to do. Slow flight, rectangular pattern. Not bad. It's going to be a little funky because of the altitude increase. That's not a typical pattern that you see flying final approach, though.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a little slow flight and maybe a couple stalls and recoveries up this time before we do the last emergency landing. Having fun?
Yeah.
This is a blast.
Definitely.
And it's life-saving skills. Hopefully you don't have to ever use.
Right.
But if you do, you have some confidence.
Yep. Okay. And then do we do a pre-takeoff or do we?
Yeah, you can do the abbreviated one here.
Okay.
The only one that doesn't have on there is the landing light, and that's already on anyway. So.
Okay, so controls are free.
Yep. Looks good over on this side. Down, and stabilizer is moving.
Okay, fuel pump on proper tank. So we'll just leave it.
Yeah, we've been flipping that around, haven't we? It's on the right. That's the fullest tank, it looks like. Okay.
Carburetor heat is off and mixture
rich.
in. Flaps 0. And gauges are checked and green. And trim around there. Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
All right, doors are closed. Everything, nobody's on.
Right. Looks good.
There.
We're not gonna have the sun.
So right now, when I call, do I say depart in 28 or?
Taking off 28, remaining in the pattern.
Williams Minnesota traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey, taking off runway 28, will remain in a pattern. Williams Minnesota traffic.
Fuel pump, we went on for takeoff, right?
Correct. I used to call the BLT check when I was in school, boost pump landing light transponder. Transponder you don't really have to do anymore because it's always on.
Yep.
But BLT acronym is what I always lived, that's what I learned by.
Okay, so we still got slight crosswind, so left.
Left aileron, there you go.
All right, roll it.
Okay.
Alright, speed is alive, crew engines are the green, 60s, rotating. Pitching for 85.
Just a touch more right rudder on that when we took off.
Yep.
We veered to the left a little.
Okay.
That's just wicked.
Coming up on 1100.
Williams,
Is it right there? Yeah.
Williams Minnesota traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey, turning left crosswind, runway 28, Williamson.
There you go.
Oh, look at the Rochester City.
Yeah, look at the rain and the clouds over the lake.
That's all.
It's hard to pay attention to stuff you're supposed to pay attention to.
Yeah. I don't.
And I'm no help. I'll be like, oh, this looks so cool. All right, wings level for a second to make sure nobody's coming downwind on you, and then you go right back into that. So you usually always level them, even if you're just about on course or afraid you're going to blow past where you want to be.
Yep.
Level them for a second just to take a quick peek. Because with a low-wing plane, it could be blocking somebody that's coming at you.
Right. All right, let's do after takeoff checklist. So fuel pump is off. Climbing for 100.
Yeah.
And mixture rich. Move towards the middle a little bit. so right there, right about turn base.
Yeah, you're over the hill probably, kind of? Yeah, it looks right. There's that church. Usually we're on base leg heading for that.
Williams Minnesota traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey is in turning left base, runway 28, Williams Minnesota traffic.
Okay, level and look. Looks good. Oh, we got time.
Williams Minnesota.
What would this be called, an upwind?
Final, actually.
Final?
Yep.
Williams Minnesota traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey is on final, modified final.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of messed up because you don't generally do this, but this is nice when there's nobody around. You can do this stuff.
3,000 here.
Alright, so once you get her leveled off, go ahead and let's go right into slow flight. So we'll pull the power back to about 18, let her slow down. Once you're in flap range, which we are, put full flaps in and just hold on to 60 miles an hour and 3,000 feet. And we're still flying the rectangular pattern, so we're going to still compensate for wind. So go ahead and put all those flaps in. Yeah, lots of trim. Probably all the trim. Okay, so power controls altitude, pitch controls airspeed. So if we're descending, yep, you'll make a power adjustment. It takes about 2,000 RPM to hold you in level flight at minimum airspeed. So we're still descending, so you're going to want to push her right into almost climb power, probably full power just to get us back up there. Because we're losing 250 a minute right there. So pitch for 60. Between 60 and 65 is fine. A little more right rudder, because that high engine torque's really pulling us over to the left. Probably got a really, oh yeah, look at our ground speed. We're into the wind. We're doing 33 knots.
33.
See if you can get it slower. Go to 60. So pitch for 60. And once you get to your altitude, just reduce the power a little. You're still pitching for the airspeed, adjusting the power for the altitude. So there's your altitude, so pull some power out. Go pull her back to about 2100 and see what that does for you. Keep the nose up. The nose up there. You're full trimmed back, right? Probably. Yeah, you still got a little too much power in there yet. Not quite to base leg yet. I can see the road coming up. Good ground track. Yep, so that'll hold you level flight generally, so that's a nice number to remember. When you're doing minimum control airspeed, 2,000 RPM with full flaps will generally hold you pretty close to, give or take, depending on the day. We're doing kind of a, considered an aerobatic maneuver. Good, and we're getting ready. No, it's going to be a while because we're going so, you got us down to 28 knots. Wow. That's cool. A picture of that. Not quite yet. So once we're on crosswind, so go ahead and make your left crosswind. Go ahead and do that now. Yep, so nothing over the turn indicator or 10 degrees. When we're going this slow. So yeah, a little more power because we're dragging big time, so you gotta make up for that. Handles like a dream at this speed, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like a Ferrari. Oh, there's the runway, okay. Alright. Brad, you're almost ready to turn downwind, I believe it or not.
Williams, Minnesota traffic, Piper 9855 Whiskey, turning left downwind, runway 28, Williams, Minnesota.
Look at the ground.
Yeah, it's almost like
See how we're going sideways? So go ahead and turn downwind.
To Echo is left wind, runway 31, in approach.
Alright, while we're in this turn, let's pull the power out, do a stall and recovery. So we're going to pull back. I want it to stall. Brake. Full power. One notch of flaps. And get a positive rate of climb. So you want to you're at 74, that's beautiful. So that's what, you don't have to get too aggressive, you want to get it down because we got to get airflow over the wing again, right?
Right.
Alright, so now while we're doing this, we're going to do a takeoff departure stall. So keep pitching up so we lose about a couple mile/hour a second. Keep that, yeah, you got it coordinated beautifully. You don't need the trim because you're going to end up having to push. So basically you're going to feel the buffet when you really hear them shaking. So there's this early stall indication. Keep pulling, keep that rudder. You feel it, you have to increase it. Let's agitate it just a little bit. There's a couple bumps, right?
Yep.
That's your signal. Push the nose down. Get it to a level flight attitude so it starts flying again. That's all there is to it, to an accelerated stall. Alright, so go back to 100 again. You can stay at that altitude. Go ahead and level off and pull the power out so we don't climb anymore. You can trade some of that altitude for the airspeed. I gotta see where we are. Okay, yeah, go ahead and start turning base.
Williams, Minnesota traffic, 9855 Whiskey, turning left base, runway 28, Williams, Minnesota.
Good job. So, we got our slow flight in, we got a couple stalls in. You want to do any of those again, or you fine?
I'm okay, yeah.
Alright, okay. We'll do those in a normal situation. This is kind of weird. We're doing a lot of weird stuff today. Yeah, so it feels like we're creeping right now. Yeah, go ahead and let's do that final to upwind.
Williams, Minnesota traffic, 9855 Whiskey, turning final, runway 28, Williams, Minnesota traffic.
Final at 3,000 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's just keep, shoot, we got the sun, but at least it's not raining. So
okay.
We got half a shot at, this sometimes helps, but.
Okay.
Hey, it feels like we're in slow flight yet. Oh, keep it at 3,000 and 100, so give her some more power in there. And I'll give you the signal when we're going to lose the engine.
Okay.
I want to put it in a little different spot for you so you can adjust for that. The biggest thing is you don't rush, you got time. Like, we have plenty of time to get this on the ground.
Right over.
We're not there yet, are we?
Yeah, we're just the airport sick right there.
They're showing like 95 knots on the airspeed. We're doing 68 on the ground. That's how much wind's up here. So it's windier than it looks.
Right over about midfield. Yeah, right about midfield now.
All right, we lost the engine. Go through your routine and talk it out.
So I'll pitch for 2083.
Okay.
And then fuel, gonna switch tanks. Gonna check my primer. Fuel boost pumps on. check magnetos, make sure full rich, and then my keto heat.
Or carb heat, yep.
Carb heat, and then
Alright, good.
ignitions on both.
Alright. I'm just going to sit here and let you make the decisions.
Oh boy.
Now we got, read off altitude, so you're 25, so we about a little over 2,000 feet above the ground right now.
Yep.
So what's your intentions? What's your plan?
Gonna do a circle and then...
Modified downwind base final kind of deal?
Yeah.
Where's the runway?
We're right above it.
Okay. Alright, there's the swamp. Okay, so we're not quite, we're kind of midfield. Actually, we might even be, at over 1-0 right now, because there's their pond over there.
I can't see, it's under the, right there. Right.
If you have to, don't be afraid. Hey, take a peek. Oh, there it is.
There it is,
don't be afraid. You're not going to ruin your glide that much for a split second. Take a look. Because that could make all the difference in the world.
Okay, so still at 2,000 feet.
2,000 MSL, so you're 1,400 now above the ground. So keep that in mind.
Yep.
Okay. And you don't have to do a perfect pattern. If you feel, hey, I want to make sure I'm going to make it, start turning toward it, I'm going to shut up. I'm talking too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. And the wind's pushing us.
It definitely is pushing.
Wind is a huge factor. And would you even be comfortable putting flaps in yet?
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. I just feel like we're going to live, though.
I could probably put a notch now.
And don't get overzealous to watch your airspeed, because that'll take you off the end of the runway. So you want to keep the airspeed where you are going to have a nice descent. Yep. Slow her down a little more even. Slow that airspeed down. You're letting that nose get down too much. Good forward slip going. Nice. There you go. Round her out. Okay, now line up with the runway with the rudders. That rudder, right? Yep, a little bit gentle on the right. Get her back over. Good job. Whew. Nice emergency landing.
Might have lost a wheel or two, but
no, you did all right. But once you pull out of that forward slip, give yourself enough time, obviously.
Right.
But now the rudders become the tool to keep you parallel with the runway.
Okay.
And now you're just adjusting aileron to move back and forth. But you're constantly working the rudders to keep us so we land straight with the wheels, But that was good. I threw a lot at you today.
All right.
You feel like you got a decent workout?
I definitely did.
All right.
That was fun.
I got to give you your money's worth.
For sure.
Great job. Great lesson. That was good.
Okay, after landing checklist. Oh, after landing, flaps are up. Make sure lean for taxi. Fuel pump is off. Landing light off. We're going to put it on because it's dark. After landing checklist complete.
Williamson Soda traffic, Piper 9er 855 Whiskey taxiing to the fuel pumps, Williamson Soda traffic.
Checked off a bunch of boxes today.
Sweet. That's going to be an interesting video. I want to see that landing.
My biggest problem is just keeping my mouth shut and let you make your decisions. Because you learn by making. If you make a mistake, you learn from it. So I gotta let you do that. I gotta stop being a helicopter mom. It's gonna be easy now doing your solo when you have power.
I know. I know.
So you're ready. We're gonna do the around the pattern stuff. As soon as you feel comfortable there, we gotta get that pre-solo written done. In fact, you can work on that now if you want.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you where.
I'll show you in there when we get done. I'll find the link. I think it might be on lesson 11, even down at the bottom, where you can download it. But there's also another spot in documents or something in the website. Ended up being a beautiful night.
I know, that was, oh man, I'm glad we went up.
Yep, me too.
That's crazy. That was beautiful.
I kind of had a gut feeling it was going to do this as soon as that cell moved past.
Okay, transponder, squawk 1200, avionics, electronics, equipment off.